AskReddit by North Ping II. Men of Reddit, what is something that other men do that makes you say yeah, they're gonna be single forever? Always trying to be the toughest man in any situation. I have one guy I know in mind and he claims to have no fears, could take anyone on, and is just an absolute dick. Reminds me of Cyrus from Trailer Park Boys, but worse and less funny. I used to have mate like that. Didn't matter how wrong he was on a subject or how much his opinion differed from another, if you pushed it he'd get to the point where he'd suggest a physical fight. He truly believed that winning that would make him right even if his point was Nelson Mandela was a white woman. If he got beat in a fight though, the other person was still wrong. Think their flaws are forgivable while the flaws of others aren't. We judge ourselves by our intentions, we judge others by their actions. Deleted. Dog, if they're in your circle you gotta tell them nobody else is going to. Don't mind me, just reading for potential self-reflective purposes. Honestly, this already puts you ahead of some of the examples in here. Self-reflection and willingness to improve can take you a long way. Make overt sexual remarks, at inappropriate times, to people they do not know well enough off for that sort of banter. I was at a friend's party with my husband and daughter and ended up talking to this random guy. Turns out his son was just a year older than my daughter. He starts making cracks about his son teaching my daughter a thing or two, yeah no wink wink. My daughter was 3. Refers to girls only by bitches or hoes. Or females, never uses women, ladies, chicks, etc. Loudly telling women how to be more desirable to men. Usually without provocation. Oh yeah, those guys are always fun. You would be so much prettier if you smiled, yeah I'm sure that's true, but if you didn't notice you're not very good at making me smile my guy. SMH. I've been told by a few guys that I should take my eyebrow studs and my lip stud out to be more attractive, and I always responded that I'm not trying to be attractive to guys like that. I like it, it's for me, not them, and the guys I wanted to attract were the ones that didn't want to change me to suit their own standards and liked me as I was, and I found exactly that type of guy. They should stick to dating women within their own style preferences, because telling a girl you would be so attractive if only you did this is not going to get them laid. I had a friend in college who was constantly batting out of his league with girls. And I don't mean looks wise. I mean the entire package. He wanted the perfect tense, both brains and looks, while he was a solid 4 to 5 in both of those areas. On top of that, he was almost always interested in girls who had already found good guys. He was just completely unrealistic about it. I said it back then, and I'll say it now 20 years later. He's gonna be single forever. Why do so many guys go after women that are already happy in a relationship? All my life, guys I've known previously find out I'm in a relationship and feeling great about it, and that's when they decide they're going to start trying to flirt with me and pressure me to cheat or leave my guy. Then when I decline and distance from them, they get angry with me. I'm super curious what their thought process is on that. Blaming all women for something one woman did. This is a good standard for any gender. That's a massive red flag. Sending unsolicited dick pics is a good indicator. Pics makes them sound like they're carefully curated for only the finest quality sexual harassment. When they are slob and disaster as the person, but proceed to have a 10-page single-spaced list of what they want in a woman. On the flip side, there are high-achieving people who have lists of why they're a great catch and what they're looking for, and they're surprised when love isn't about checking off boxes. A dude I know, who is kind of an incel, upon seeing any woman, feels the need to rate them out loud. I'm amazed he hasn't gotten pepper sprayed lol. To their face? Nothing. I've watched the absolute worst of the worst still find someone willing to tolerate them. I'll cross my fingers for the younger generations to draw that line. BC of loopholes in the law. A couple moved in next door when I was a kid where the 50-something-year-old husband had went to prison for violently raping his 12-13 years old stepdaughter. My dad once asked the wife why she stayed with him. She replied it didn't matter to her. He was the one who was stupid enough to get caught. So I'm not shocked by anything anymore. Not brush their teeth. Lie. Take no responsibility. If someone lies to the point that they're known for it, that's a bad goddamned liar. Not take responsibility and lacks any self-reflection. No one wants an incompetent man-child that thinks they are perfect and unwilling to grow change. I beg to differ. There's a ton of incompetent man-children with GF's wives. I've known quite a few men who believe they have to treat women poorly to get their attention and respect. I've tried helping them open their eyes to all of the healthy, happy, and normal relationships around them, but these guys are usually pretty disconnected from reality. I've also known men who seem to think women owe them something. Like they don't need to try to be a good person or a good partner, they just need to check off the I'm a man boxes and act cool, then women should be falling head over heels for them. Edit. When I was writing this I had someone in mind who is not getting any dates and he thinks it's because women in society are different than they used to be. But as some of you have pointed out, acting like an asshole does work for some guys with some women. This should be a highly upvoted comment. I applaud your insight because you're spot on, at least from my standpoint as a woman. Number one biggest thing is probably just never approaching women emo. 33 years of never approaching women and going strong. Complain about their problems on an echo chamber like Reddit instead of taking responsibility over their lives. This. Airing dirty laundry online only works out well when you post in the right places and actually consider the criticism and feedback instead of continuing as if you're God's gift to vaginas. Bad hygiene. Making everything into a sex reference. Not being able to have a normal conversation with a woman. Only talking to women when drunk, and even then it's to say something awful. Being friends with someone that they secretly want to have sex with. Bonus. Asking said friend where's my hug every time they leave. Always looking for the perfect mate. Yeah, I've seen a lot of schlubby, plain, mid-level guys who are shockingly picky about women. Turning up their noses at anyone less than supermodel gorgeous. Too fat, too tall, not a blonde. I want a blonde, then. They whine about getting rejected. I want to say, dude, who are you to be so judgmental? Viewing women as objects rather than equals. Always talks and doesn't give anyone a chance to talk. I work at a Benedictine university. The guys wearing robes tend to stay single. This might be hard to hear, but honestly it's being underconfident. You can be an absolute piece of shit and still get a partner, because most pieces of shit still have or at least project a lot of self-confidence, and that is what people find attractive. If you're an otherwise nice dude but you don't believe in yourself, you're not gonna attract anyone. I agree with this one. I once dated a guy who lacked a lot of confidence. But the relationship didn't last long. His lack of confidence made him super controlling and paranoid to the point where if I got any call from a male name, be it my brother or boss, he would spiral and lose it, claiming I'm cheating on him. Yeah, no, incest isn't my thing, and my boss was in his 60s calling me up to see if I could cover a shift. He would also constantly seek approval or compliments. It was exhausting. Not taking care of their personal hygiene. Like, come on man, I don't want to smell your BO. Why would any potential partner? Also, wash your goddamn hands after using the bathroom, you filthy animal. Punisher sticker. Because it's always the people that don't understand Punisher that get the damn stickers. only being interested in finding a perfect 10, while living as a 3 at best themselves. Appealing to the whole alpha male shit. The whole alpha male thing is designed to keep men single. That way these insecure men keep giving the content creators views. $$$$$$$. I have a friend who has incredibly high standards when it comes to dating. He wouldn't go out with an overweight or not conventionally pretty girl. Meanwhile he is overweight, balding, boring looking guy in his 40s with a shit job and a hairy back, who did not had sex in the last 20 years, unless he paid for it, what he did frequently. His father left his mother when my friend was a baby, never had a male role model in his life. He likely assumes that he'll get rejected by everyone. It's not embarrassing to him if he gets rejected by those that are likely to reject the rest of your friend group. If he went for the overweight, balding, boring looking girl in her 40s with a hairy back and got rejected, his view of himself would be shattered. Hygiene. Not taking their finances seriously. No one wants to pay for you forever. Talk about women like objects, thinking it's okay to be raunchy, objectify them when in company with only dudes. He treats objects like women, man. Puts every attractive woman on a podium and ignores every other woman they don't find attractive. Just speak to them like they're ick now. People? When I first started attending science fiction fan conventions, I thought it would be easy to find guys with the same interests and my age-ish. Oh, I found them. And they prefer to talk with 20-year-old girls wearing cute anime shirts. I tried starting conversations while in lines, and nothing. I once asked a friend if he knew someone he could set up as a blind date. He came back with, "I thought about it, and all of my single friends are single for a reason. So I don't want to set you up with them, they don't deserve you." Speaking of behalf of myself, I do not recognize when somebody is hitting on me. I've been told many times, "Dude, that girl was hitting on you." My response was always, "What? No. She was just, oh god. What have I done?" This is why I'll be single forever. Deleted. Immediately fall in love with any girl who talks to them. That girl at the checkout counter digs me. She said hi to me. No dude, that's an actual part of her job description, to greet each customer. So many of these responses are hilarious, because we all know a guy that makes shitty comments and generally acts like a misogynist and still always has a GF anyway. They're not good dudes, but that isn't the point. So I'll give a real answer. The guy that will be single forever will say something along the lines of, "I want to date, but I never feel like I'm ready. I have to have X and X and X and X first, then women will like me. Additionally, this guy has to be at least 30 years old." If you ask a guy what their ideal woman is, I've learned that a lot of guys damn near describe a fucking slave. Yeah, they want a cook, maid, nurse, masseuse, sex slave that will bear their children and also raise them while also remaining skinny and young forever and not making money outside the house that is higher than the guy's income. They also want this woman to love and obey them unconditionally, even while he has a billion conditions on her. They want her to be frugal but also smoking hot with no facial treatments or elective surgeries or makeup or clothes even. They want her to have a sense of humor, which doesn't mean be like Sarah Silverman. They want a woman that will laugh at their jokes, tell them they're the funniest guy in the world, but not come up with any material of their own. Oh yeah, and she's gotta be a virgin too, but also a total nympho sex kitten that will go 4 hours and never complain. I see a lot of talk about guys who don't respect women. I give you its equally unattractive opposite. Guys with so much respect for women, they treat them like volatile explosives. That's not even respect at that point, that's just fear. I don't know. The shittiest guy I ever knew was also the most successful with women. I wish I knew what I've been doing wrong that makes me worse than him. Deleted. Listen man, the problem with women is assume any platonic signals of friendship are signs of interest and view women as something to be obtained. This is definitely the one I see the most of, having grown up in a culture where we were told that the single biggest goal in life is being in a relationship. I see people of all kinds behave like this. Dude, I was watching Andrew Tate and sitting home all day. Only gaming and working. Not going out at all. But going out costs money. I do biking and hang out with friends, but when one of my goals is to get out of debt by the end of the year, socializing with strangers ain't at the top of my list. Any man who starts a sentence with, "These modern women today," dude will never know the touch of a woman and will be baffled as to why. Argue over every single little detail till they're blue in the face. Alpha male. From the movie Hitch, most of my clients actually like women. If they aren't prepared to be friends with their wife, I know it's not going to end happy for them. My mate, he's 32, lives in a bungalow out the back of his mum's house. He goes and buys 2-minute noodles or frozen pizza for every meal, because his mum didn't do a shop for him. Complains when he doesn't have a girlfriend. Complains when he does. Not washing their ass because it's gay. Truly this is so mind-bogglingly gross. An obsession with virgins when said man in his 30s.